Yo, what's going on, everybody?
What up?
How we doing?
What up?
Chilling?
Yeah, just chilling.
Just chilling.
You know.
Wednesday night vibes, you know?
Yep, reading about this dog,
Sheba.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's how it's pronounced, honestly. That's how I've just been saying it.
It's either...
It's got to be a Sheba, right? Sounds like a dog name.
Shiba, Shiba.
Sheba, Kamini Soba, Kanam Kram.
Exactly.
Yeah. But welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Cantina. We are back with another episode, Thursday Night Football preview. Tomorrow night, we got the Green Bay Packers traveling to Arizona to face the undefeated Arizona Cardinals, 7-0. I believe 8-0 would be franchise record start for them. So, kind of a big deal. Packers are 6-1, though. I mean, everybody forgets they lost that terrible fucking game versus Saints week 1. And then I think Aaron Rodgers has ripped off like 15 touchdowns and 1 interception since then. So, but he's going to be without his favorite target. Davante Adams not traveling with the team. COVID list. Lazard or Lizard, whatever you want to call him. He's also on the close contact list, I believe. I don't think he tested positive. He's just close contact.
Yeah, it says there's a possibility that he might not travel, but it doesn't seem like it's for sure with him yet.
Yeah.
Well, it says he's expected to miss game.
Yeah.
So I guess it is pretty sure. Never mind.
Yeah. And already Vaskelding is on the IR, but could return. I mean, we don't know.
I like the name you give him there. It's kind of like just a quick this is Marquez Valdez-Scantling. We do Vaz-Scantling.
Sounds better.
It's almost like Van Helsing.
Dude. Exactly.
I like it a little bit. Like that's what you said. I was like,
That's what I've been calling him, dude.
It's not a bad nickname for him.
It's like a nickname. It's like long but short.
He's coming off. Exactly. Ka. But he's coming back from a hamstring injury, so
yeah.
Or at least he's expected to be activated. He's eligible to be. So and I would imagine with Adams missing, they would want to get him out there because the rest of the receivers ain't looking that great.
Yeah. Randall Cobb would be their number 1 if he can't go. Which I mean it's Randall Cobb. He's okay, but he shouldn't be your number 1 receiver. No. Probably gonna be a heavy dose of Aaron Jones. I would expect AJ Dillon to be involved for the Packers, but you got Aaron Rodgers, so anything's possible. And they seem to pump out wide receivers anyway, so we'll see what their depth's all about.
He'll still make do with what he's got.
Yeah, for sure.
He'll still be fine.
Yeah, he's still got Tunyon. He's still got some weapons, but definitely, I think Adams is the big one. That's the for sure.
Yeah,
that's the for sure miss. I want to say I thought you couldn't look this up and double check on me, but I thought I can look it up too. I thought Watt got hurt in practice, but I could be wrong. I don't know if the severity of it. Let me see what the latest is.
It says he is out.
Yeah.
It says he's out with a shoulder injury.
Yeah, so that sucks because he's not having like a JJ Watt season, but he's been playing well.
That defense, it's still been solid.
Yeah,
especially the addition of him.
And you definitely like to have that guy on the field when you're playing Aaron Rodgers. So that could affect the Cardinals a little bit. Cardinals offense is, I mean, just fucking dynamic in every way.
Yeah,
Kyler, it's crazy. They're 7-0, and I was talking to Kyle about this. We haven't even had a Kyler game yet. Like, there hasn't been no 100-yard rushing, like massive game from him yet, and they're 7-0. He's just honestly picking people off with his arm. Barely running this year. I think all his touchdowns are within like the 15-yard line. I think he could have one outside that rushing. That is. But you're not seeing most of his highlights when he's scrambling. He's throwing. He's not. You don't have those scrambles to run. Which is crazy. I mean, maybe like that's some. I don't want to say maturity because he was getting it done doing both, but maybe a little more trust in his arm and pushing the ball down the field.
I think that another year under his belt, more of an evolution of him as a thrower, and getting to that true potential he has, and that's what, yeah. Because again, we seen it last year. It was kind of taking effect then, and now this year, yeah, he's just a lot less on with his legs. I think it's just the next step of him being a passer.
Yeah.
Been a fucking monster.
He has. And he's using all his weapons. I mean, he's spreading the ball out like crazy. So, DeAndre Hopkins' numbers are down a little bit, but like Christian Kirk has put himself as a solid number 2. AJ Green's having a solid fucking year too. He is technically the number 2. And they're using both running backs, Chase Edmonds and James Conner, in a nice little committee role. And they're both getting it done. So their offense is just really hard to fucking stop right now, I guess. I mean,
yeah.
I was gonna say it's amazing to see Kyler play the way he was, because when we were watching the game and he got in the huddle and like his top of his helmet doesn't even like pass the shoulder pads of his lineman, and it's like, this guy's like short. Like they talk about like short QBs, and they call like Baker short all the time and Rush short, but it's like at least he's like up there somewhat, like 6 foot. Like there's no shot in hell Kyler Murray's touching 5'11".
No.
Like he looks like a kid out there.
And it doesn't even matter. He's just schooling everybody still. It's like,
it's crazy.
It don't even affect him.
Crazy the way he finds his throwing lanes and sees downfield, but it's awesome to see. I mean, the Cardinals are fun as hell to watch.
Yeah, I think you're pretty much the only like receiver I don't think I'd start is Rondale Moore, but Kirk roll out there. I mean, AJ Green for sure.
Yeah, I'd play AJ Green. Christian Kirk, I'd play. Christian Kirk's had a really solid stretch. Yeah, I mean, Chase Edmonds is a solid flex. James Conner's a solid flex. Conner maybe a little bit more because he's seeing the goal line running work, but they're both involved in the offense. And Edmonds is that guy everybody kind of like thought could have a breakout season, but James Conner's played really well to keep himself involved in that offense. But Chase Edmonds, if you have him on your roster for fantasy, he's still putting up like 8 to 12 points a game. He's hitting that double digit mark where it's like, well, I'm gotta have this guy on my roster still.
He's been solid.
Very solid. Very solid. I'm gonna ask you a question here. I'm gonna get to who you think's gonna win this game, but the spread right now, Vegas has Arizona as a 6.5 point favorite. Do you think that's too high or too low? Would you take that bet?
That they're gonna win by 6.5 points, right?
Yeah. So if you're
at
taking
least
this
6.5.
yeah, if you're taking this bet, Arizona has to win by at least 7 to cover. So if it's like a 4-point game, you lose the bet. They have to win by at least a touchdown. They think Arizona's a touchdown better than Green Bay right now. Now, that could be the wide receivers being out playing a role. But the Packers are 6-1 and they're playing great too.
Right. Who's it? I was reading some about some of the injuries that both their defense had, their secondaries especially. But even like I could see it, but I don't know if that means that they are a touchdown better than Green Bay. I think they'll win. I don't know. I think it'd be closer than that.
I think it'd be
tough.
Too.
It'd be tough to take that because even I think Devontae Adams kind of makes the difference, and I think the Packers would have a better chance of winning with Adams. But I think with him out and kind of still banged up receiver core with MBS come back off the hamstring, they will have to lean on Aaron Jones, and that D line for the Cardinals has been solid. Even with J.J. Watt out, I think he'll still be solid. So I think the Cardinals will take it, but I don't think I'd take the.
You're not gonna take the spread. I don't think I would either.
No.
It'd be hard for me to go against Aaron Rodgers and give him 7 points, like spotting him 7. So that's like it's the other way around. If you take Green Bay, all they have to do is not lose by 6.5. They can lose the game by 6, and you're gonna win the bet still. So I would take that all day. Give me Aaron Rodgers and 6.5 points. Versus any team, honestly. I got faith that Rodgers will keep it close,
And that's what I'm sitting here thinking. I'm like, if it were any other team, I think I would take that. But like, because of who it is, how many times have we seen like those end of game drives that Aaron Rodgers has? The meme where it's like you left that much time on the clock for Rodgers, and
Yeah,
it's just him
yeah,
smiling. Like,
yeah. We saw it
it's
earlier this year. 37 seconds for San Francisco. Two
I can't give
plays.
him that kind of a cushion for that.
Yeah,
No, it's too uncomfortable.
yeah. I agree. I actually feel like the Packers are going to win this game.
I think they're capable of it even with Adams out, but for me, that's why I'm gonna go with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I think that just kind of, but
I want to take the Cardinals. It's more of a feel thing. I just feel like at some point they're going to drop one, and Packers are playing fine, but I could see this. This is going to sound stupid. The Packers are going to either win a close game or they're going to get blown out. That's what I like. I don't know. I don't know if Arizona
blown out by
win
6.5 points or more.
I don't know. I wouldn't bet on it. But
all right.
but I do think the Packers will win a close one. But I could totally see this game being like 31-13 or something.
Yeah.
If Arizona comes out hot. But we'll see. We'll see.
So you officially taking then? What's your stance here?
I'm taking the Packers.
Packers?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're gonna win a close game.
All right.
I think they're gonna win a close game.
Should we text Joe real quick and see who he's got so we can get his pick record?
Shoot him a text.
Shoot
him a text.
We'll be like, we need your pick right now. Drop everything you're doing.
We got to go through too and figure out who's winning that. I know the one week I had you guys beat by a couple games, but that was because you took like fucking every upset in the book, dude.
I did that weekend. I was like, I'm just taking upsets today. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I was like, this will be the week if it'll either give me a really good comfortable lead or the total opposite.
Yeah.
And
it was the opposite. So there might honestly be no chance for you to win.
Cards, son. He said
cards, son. All right. I'll be on my lonely island. I'm on a boat, motherfucker. Another betting thing. Let me ask you this, because there's some degenerates who watch this podcast. They got the over under for this game. So if you bet the over, it has to be over this many points. If you bet the under, obviously, you think the total points is going to be under this.
Okay.
50.5 points. So 28-25 gets it done. That's an over.
I think it could be over that.
I do too.
I think it could be over that.
I think this is going to be like 30-something to 30-something game.
I could absolutely see
Yeah.
Even with Adams out, that offense, yeah. If Aaron Jones, if they do run it through him, and he's just having one of them nights where he just goes off.
Yeah.
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 I can see that.
You can run on Arizona. We saw the Browns have some success with it. Obviously, it's the Browns. They're number one running attack in the NFL. But I struggle with knowing what this Arizona defense is, because they seem like, from a fantasy perspective, they're number one fantasy defense right now. But they haven't really had a fucking crazy defensive, massive turnover game. They're just kind of holding teams down. I feel like that game's coming where they're just going to give up some points.
Not to get off topic, but because I was looking at him today, dude, the Cowboys' defense in fantasy has been solid.
Well, yeah,
because they've been what's his face?
Trayvon Diggs,
picks like it is.
6 interceptions.
I was just looking at it today. I'm like, what complete change from last year.
Yeah.
Even in that instance, even in reality. But just looking at the fantasy numbers today, I was like, fuck, that's kind of it's crazy.
Let me ask you something about Trayvon Diggs. I got in this conversation at work sometime last week. You think Trayvon Diggs is overrated? He's talked about as the number one corner right now. If you look up his stats, he's given up a fuck ton of yards.
Has he?
But he's got the 6 interceptions. I think he's housed 2 of them.
See, the picks are huge.
They are, obviously, yeah.
And I would want to see touchdowns given up too, because that's also huge.
Yeah.
Yards, yards. I feel like, let me put it like this, I guess. To me, yards is kind of like batting average in a sense.
Yeah.
Where, okay, you want to see kind of a solid number there, but at the same time, you can deal with somebody batting 240, or 250 if like they're coming in clutch and hitting home runs and driving in runs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that's what I'd want to see is like touchdowns given up. And I'm sure they got it broken down too into like fourth quarter touchdowns or something like that.
He's
I would
allowed one
imagine.
touchdown.
What now? Do you can you see where he ranks as a cornerback in the league
79.
in touchdowns given up?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Pass breakups, he's got 5. This is kind of cool. Yards per target allowed, 10. And yards per reception allowed is 20.
that is a lot.
Yeah. He's given up almost what's exactly 322 yards allowed on 16 receptions. According to this thing. I'm trying to figure out if this is right or if I'm just getting like a fucking
Just reading off some like terrible stats.
some weird ass stats. It says 2021 season, 6 games. Oh yeah, they had a bye, didn't they?
Yeah,
They had a bye, yeah.
Yeah, they're coming off a bye.
That makes sense.
Week 7.
That makes more sense. I was like, that's lower than I thought it was, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
So he's defended. This is kind of really cool, this fucking site, how this is breaking it down. He's got an 84.6% snap share, 11.7% of the time he's in the slot, 32 targets allowed. So about half the time he's being targeted, he's giving up a reception. Targeted 15.8% of plays, defended 203 routes, average target distance 11.4.
I see. I don't think we need to like super deep.
No, we don't, but it's interesting.
But I mean, the touchdowns given up ain't terrible. One, I could live with that.
Yeah.
But what was the number? The one number I didn't like though at all. What was it, the 20 yards like per
reception allowed?
per reception
20
that
yards.
allowed? That's a little rough.
You're getting torched.
Like, yeah, that's.
It's interesting. It's just an interesting debate because it's like he's playing great. Like you can't even say he's not, because 6 picks, 2 touchdowns. I know there was like banter between him and his brother Trayvon Diggs that like Diggs tweeted out something and Trayvon was like, "Why don't you talk to me when you get more touchdowns than me?" or something like that, which was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it was an interesting conversation.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say overrated. Maybe that's too strong of like a description of it. Maybe a little hyped because he is a Cowboy also. We know how the Cowboys go.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, I can maybe agree a little bit. But I can't say that the dude, is not playing bad at all to deserve that kind of hype.
Like, he deserves recognition for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would expect that for him going forward in his career. That's where I'm kind of at with it. He's having a great year.
This could just be one of those things where, he just has a solid ass year.
Turnovers and interceptions are always funky year to year, you know?
Yeah, they are.
It's funny that some of the best corners just don't intercept the ball because they just don't get thrown at. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he'll turn into that guy because people don't want to throw 6 interceptions, you know? But anyway, sorry, I got us off track, but I thought that was an interesting conversation. But Thursday Night Football, I got the Packers, you got the Cardinals. Joe's on the Cardinals. Yeah, I mean, it should be a good game. I mean, we've had a good stretch of Thursday night games, honestly. Good
really
stretch this year. Usually like the shittiest game of the week. Even their shit games earlier in the year turned out to be good games because they were shit teams.
They really did, yeah.
So
I know the Giants Washington game, it was like, ugh, and then it turned out to be solid.
Yeah.
Bengals Jaguars was kind of like, that turned out to be
Then Joey
solid.
B turn it on, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
best team in the AFC right now.
I do want to say, did you see that video I sent you today? I think I sent it to you.
Yeah,
About what he said to the Eagles players when he got sacked last year.
Yep.
Fucking goat, dude. Swear to God. I swear to God.
Yeah. I feel like we're slowly becoming Cincy fans. Like,
I know. I talked to Kyle about it today. He's like, I'm not fucking happy about it, dude. I'm like, well, at
it's
least
tough.
it's Ohio,
Dude's
dude.
like,
At least it's Ohio.
That's like, yeah.
Honestly,
it's the only thing that makes it okay.
You know what's funny though? Alex, first of all, let me explain the video since we brought it up. If you didn't see it, Joe Burrow got sacked by the Eagles. Huge hit. Didn't turn around and look for a flag. Turned around and looked at the D line and was like, when I'm the GOAT, I'll get that flag. And I guess everyone on Philly's defense was like, all right, this dude's the real fucking deal. Which is a pretty badass thing to say. Like, if I was there, I'd be like, that is the most badass thing I have ever heard. But forgot where I was going. Oh yeah, us being Bengals fans. It could happen. Can you hear me? Or are you just like in La La Land? It's totally in La La Land. Look at him. All right, well, we'll end it there. This guy's zoned out. But I will talk to you guys later. We will see you after Thursday night. We'll see you Saturday for our Saturday night preview. And until then, have a great fucking night. Subscribe to the channel if you want. If you don't, fuck you. Deuces.